pursuit of continuous quality education.
Living up to DepEd's mandate of no student should be left behind.
From the home of Sarongbangi,
The land of Oragons. This is Santo Domingo National High School. School on Air.
School on Air.
Good afternoon, Santo Domingo National High School, grade 10 students. You are now listening to Keys 108 FM School on Air. I am your radio teacher, Georgie Arcalio, a Bachelor in Culture and Arts Education, intern student teacher from San Jose Community College. Please lend me your ears as I discuss another learning episode in arts. Be ready with your ball pen and paper for jotting down important notes. You will be working with some activities later on. Kindly get your self-learning modules for grade 10 arts, quarter 4, modules 1, 2, and 3. Our lesson for today is about original performance with the use of media. Are you excited to learn? That's good! The following are the learning skills from the most essential learning competencies. The objectives are the following. 1. Explains how an idea or theme is communicated in selected performance through the integration of musical sounds, songs, dialogue, and dance. Number 2. Analyze the examples of plays based on theatrical forms and elements of art as applied to performance. Let's have a short recap of what you have learned from our previous lesson about art elements in media-based arts in the Philippines and Filipino media-based artists in their works. Write down what is being defined by the following statements. I will repeat each question twice. Are you ready? All right, let's listen attentively. Number 1. It is one of the oldest and basic forms of mass communication. It includes newspapers, magazines, comic books, and other forms of printed journals. It is one of the oldest and basic forms of mass communication. It includes newspapers, magazines, comic books, and other forms of printed journals. Number 2. It is a technique of photographing successive drawings. Positions of puppets are models to create an illusion of movement when the movie is shown as sequence. It is the technique of photographing successive drawings, positions of puppets, or models to create an illusion of movement when the movie is shown as sequence. Number 3. In photography, a photographer knows how to really work with light, which can help create some truly stunning images. What characteristic of photography must be considered? In photography, a photographer knows how to really work with light, which can help create some truly stunning images. What characteristic of photography must be considered? Number 4. This element of art is exceptional to films and animations. This element of art is exceptional to films and animations. Number 5. Who is the film director who is known for creating films that reflect on the lives of the marginalized sectors, women and children? Who is the film director who is known for creating films that reflect on the lives of the marginalized sectors, women and children? Okay, let's check if you got them right. For number 1, the answer is print media. Number 2, animation. For number 3, it's good lighting. For number 4, sound and motion. And lastly, the answer for number 5 is Marilu Diaz-Abaya. Now, who among you got them all correctly? Very good! Now, who among you got 4? Well done! Who among you got 3? That's nice! 2, 1, alright. I know you can do better next time. Now let's move on to the introductory concept of the original performance with the use of media. Theater is a major art form that brings together all the other art forms, from painting and sculptures to installation art, to music, to dance, to literature, even to computer arts in a single production. Theater is a collaborative art from which integrates words, voice, movement, and visual elements to express meaning. The field of theater encompasses not only live, improvised, and scripted work, but also dramatic forms such as film, television, and other electronic media. Due to the increasingly pervasive influence of contemporary theatrical media, theater has played an enormous importance in our lives. It is not possible for you, my dear students, to achieve media literacy without fully understanding theater first. Theater is about the examination and resolution of fundamental human issues, and this is built in understanding and presenting interactions between people. Theater work provides a vehicle for you to reflect on important aspects of life. In the process of developing your sensitivity and deepening your understandings of others' points of view. Quality theater education is similarly broad-based, extending beyond the teaching of acting to develop your abilities in areas ranging from technical theater to directing, and from researching the cultural and historical context of repertoire to creating your own improvised or scripted works. You should study creative writing, improvising and writing scripts, expressive public speaking, media literacy, theatrical production and interpretation, and other key communication skills as part of your basic K-12 language arts curriculum, and should deepen and apply the skills in formal theater experiences under the guidance of your expert theater teachers. Alright, let's proceed to the Philippine theater and performing groups in our country. We have a rich and thriving theater industry that you may be interested to venture into the future. Productions range from original plays with Philippine themes and settings. The Quest for the Adarna, directed by Joy Verata with a retelling of playwright Luna Grino Inosan, is an example. We also have theater classics from past centuries, such as plays of William Shakespeare and contemporary musicians from Broadway or London's West End. My dear students, are you familiar with Lea Salonga, who played the roles of Eponine and Fantine in the Les Miserables of Miss Saigon? That's very good. The Philippine Educational Teacher Association, or PETA, is a theatrical association of artists and educators that was established on April 7, 1967 by Cecil Guidote Alvarez, along with the Tanghalang Pilipino of the Cultural Center of the Philippines that was organized in 1987. They had performances of U.S. and European forms and scripts during the American presence in the first half of the 21st century. Local groups also stage zarzuelas. Are you familiar with this genre of stage play? Zarzuela originally is a Spanish lyric dramatic genre that alternates between spoken and sung scenes, incorporating operatic and popular songs as well as dance. Filipinos have expressed distinct interpretation and created many originally written plays. If you have time, I encourage you to watch Walang Sugat by Severino Reyes on YouTube for you to understand what kind of stage play a zarzuela is. My dear students, please be guided by your learning activity sheet number 2, week 2, as I discuss the topic further. Let's move on to the elements of arts as applied to an original performance. So, what are these elements? Number 1 is sound and music. It is very useful for creating the atmosphere of a performance. It engages audiences, helps deliver information, increases the production value, evokes emotional responses, and emphasizes what's on the stage or screen. So, incorporating sound recording and editing techniques are available using applications on desktop or laptop computers, tablets, and Android phones. Another set of elements includes gesture, movement, and dance. In a performance, gestures and movements are signs that communicates a character's action, state of mind, and relationship with other characters to an audience. For the dance element, you must apply appropriate styles and techniques that you have learned from your PE class depending on the classification of the performance. We also have costume, mask, makeup, and accessories. These elements help tell the story and help actors get into character. They also immediately tell the audience something about what's going on. In these elements, we incorporate art techniques such as painting, paper mache, assemblage. For those who do not know what an assemblage is, it is a work of art made by grouping found or unrelated objects. Alright. We also have simple sculpture and industrial design. The last one is spectacle. It adds sensory effects and makes a show more entertaining, eye-catching, and dramatic. This can be achieved with the use of lighting, sound, music, costumes, dance, and special effects. So my dear students, it means that all the elements that I have mentioned earlier creates a spectacle. Are you still with me, class? Alright, this time, let's discuss about stage production. What's your idea of a stage production? Some of you might come up with the idea of a show, performances perhaps, and some of you might think of actors and actresses. But there is so much more than those that comprise a stage production. Talented people play particular vital roles to come up with a successful show. To define it, a theatrical production is any work of theater such as a stage play, musical, comedy, or drama produced from a written book or script. Theatrical production also extend to other performance designations such as dramatic and non-dramatic theater, as well as dance theater. We could see the actors and actresses play their roles on stage in a theater production. But behind the scenes is an entire team whose work begins months in advance of an actual performance. They support and enable the actors to truly bring the play to life or make the show realistic. The roles of the personalities behind each stage production may vary depending on how simple or complex the production is. Now, let's have an activity to measure your understanding of the discussion for today. Are you ready for it, class? Very good. For your activity 2, under Theater Watch, in page 2 of your week 1 activity sheet, I will be the one to give you a stage play for you to observe. I will send the link in your respective group chats. The title of the show is Ang Huling El Bimbo, a musical featuring the songs of the most iconic 90s band, directed and choreographed by Dexter Santos and written by Dingdong Novenario. You have to watch attentively, observe how the plot is developed, and write the artistic elements and principles used. In addition, in your learning activity 3, you have the list of the basic roles that most plays require and a comprehensive description of their job. For your another activity, Research and write at least 3 Filipinos with pictures of their works in the field of stage production in each of the following roles: producer, director, playwright, set designer, lighting designer, costume designer, sound designer, production manager, technical director, choreographer, and makeup designer. Write your answers in a clean sheet of paper and submit it during the retrieval and distributions of modules. Here's a quotation from an American comic actor named Neil Patrick Harris. He said, "Sometimes you can have the smallest roles in the smallest production and still have a big impact. Every member of a production team, regardless of the role they contribute, is valuable. The success of a show lies in every member giving their best out of their artistic profession. Big role or small, it is of the same value." Thank you, Junior High School Grade 10 students, for tuning in for today's learning episode. If you have questions, concerns, or clarifications, please don't hesitate to reach out through our group chat. I am very much willing to assist you. May I remind again everyone regarding the activities that you are tasked to work with. You will be submitting them during the distribution and retrieval of modules. That's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed our radio-based learning episode. Until next time, this has been your radio intern teacher, Georgie Arcalio from San Jose Community College, saying, "Everything you don't know is something you can learn." Good day, everyone.